Yeah, so I'll jump on with a screen in a moment, but first of all, just sort of give a bit of a history lesson of how we got to where we are with consultations. So in 2021, we converted Milton Keynes to LocalGov Drupal, and during that process, there was an initial requirement for a function where we could have some sort of consultations for open and closed. They came with some fairly basic requirements. It was, open and close dates, what the consultation's about, any categories, and the ability to sign up to notifications. So if there was a change in status to any consultation, the constituent could get an email notification about those. So with that, we created our version 1, which hopefully you will all be able to see now. So as I said, it's very sort of basic in its text format. We have open and closed consultations. We can log into them. We can sign up to email notifications. But whilst we had completed all this work, we knew that consultations could be a lot more beneficial to other councils with further integrations. So with that in mind, we created our demo for Consultations Mark 2. As you can see, it's obviously a bit of a striking change from the original text format. Basically, we just want to give more of a sort of an engaging feel towards consultations. And we created it as a proof of concept originally in 2025, and opened it up for anybody to come and have their say basically with how this is going to be changed into a proper module. In the end of 2025, Rachel and Maya from Walsall came to us and said that they had cancelled their subscription with their current provider, and we had and they very much wanted this to be developed into a finished module. So come January, I think it was the 5th this year, we got the go ahead and the green light, and kindly Walsall agreed to split the funding with us for the development of this into a completed module. And come the end of January, we had our alpha release, which some of you may have seen if you're in the consultation Slack group. So a quick run through of the module itself from a user's perspective. Obviously, if we land on a landing page, we have fairly standard tiles for each of the individual consultations. We have a keyword search. We have categories, which is used via consultation categories here. And we have statuses, which hopefully are fairly self-explanatory. The upcoming, open, closed, and concluded. The only one that might need some explaining there is the closed and concluded. So part of the development work which Rachel requested was the ability to have a "you said, we did." So the consultation can close, but then if there's going to be an update later on about what the outcome of that consultation was, we need to be able to adapt that. So I'll show you that in a little moment. Moving down, we have obviously the closes on or opens on or closed on statuses, which appear on the tiles, followed by a brief teaser text and the title of the consultation. Moving into the consultation itself, we have a 66-33 split on the main screen, with all the main information of the consultation to be held on the left-hand side there, and then all the supplementary information based upon the information put in on the back end appearing on these little boxes on the right. We also have the ability to link web forms to this. So this is just a simple submit. And so we have things like timelines, department cards, which we've brought in, and like top tasks, which are basically just like links to other areas of the site or external links. If I go to a concluded consultation, we'll get the Asset Heritage Register, and this will demonstrate the "you said we did" element. So within the back end, there is a field which allows you to type in your results, which I'll show you in a moment. And when that has been populated and the status has been changed to concluded, the consultation itself actually changes to this view, providing all the information that has been supplied by the council. But we also wanted to give them the ability that if they were reviewing this, the actions taken, how they actually reflected back to the consultation. So we enabled the consultation to then be reviewable as well within the same view. From a user perspective, all of the basic information is being set out in these tabs on the left-hand side here. So we have titles, teaser text for your tiles on the homepage, and then your body of your consultation. Then we can select images, one for the banner and one for the tile. So you can have the same image or you can have different images depending on what you'd like. Then we can move into statuses. So we have upcoming, closed, open, and concluded. We have our start and end date, and then we have the timeline, which is using the design from the step-by-steps. So to edit these is really simple. You can simply just go in, add an extra step in there. Step 2. Let's just put an arbitrary date in. And so we can save that. And then we've actually put in our extra step. And then to simply move these around, should just be a drag and drop. So we can move the orders and we can update the toggle, whether that has been completed or not, using the Boolean there. Contact details. So contacts we can add here for users on, for representation on the consultation. This uses the service contacts. So it's integrated with service contacts as well. And you can build these on the fly. Our external links are all standard, Drupal paragraph modules. Categories. So we have our structure, taxonomy, consultation categories for the consultations categories, and then documents if you want to upload any, and you can select web forms from Drupal itself, or you can, if you've got a third-party supplier, you can add these in here, and they're just external link. On the results side of things, we have 2 options available to you. So those of you who know, we also operate in the Microsoft CRM side. So if you've got something like Power BI, you can put in your external link here and you can put in Power BI reports. Or if you wanted to write in your text, as I showed you on the concluded consultation, then you can add that in here. Simply then change the status to concluded, and then that will render. And we have locations at the bottom. So if you wanted to put in a map, you can add information here about the location where a meeting might be taking place, for example. Oops. So that's where we are at the moment. This is presently an alpha release. We are hopefully moments away from having a general release, because Rachel's and her team are kind of doing UAT at the moment. There's obviously some future development work that needs to be done later on for some like automation stuff. But we're also interested in knowing what elements that you guys have in external systems which you might think would be beneficial to this, so that we can plan a roadmap for some future development. Okay. Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, Martin. That's great. I actually wondered whether, Rachel, if you wanted to say anything before we come to questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can just say that our consultations person is very excited. She wasn't ever a keen a fan of Commonplace, so she's really keen to get onto this. So we're testing it quite thoroughly at the moment, and it kind of does what it says on the tin. It makes it quite easy for us to move over current consultations and then progress up to the you said we did. So yeah, all working well. We've dropped a couple of extra things in on our theme, things like dropping the timeline down so that you initially when you go in you only see the open one and then you can expand it to see all the rest, because on some of these bigger consultations that can get quite long. So we've done a little bit of theming on our side, but yeah, it's looking great. It's working well.